From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Michelle Norris, and first this hour to some curious questions about the bombs found on cargo planes last week. Were they intended to detonate, or were they trial runs? There is a clue from an earlier episode. Back in September, American intelligence officials intercepted some innocuous packages. They were filled with religious books, clothes, and CDs on their way from Yemen to Chicago. NPR's Dina Temple-Raston is with us now to sort this all out. Dina, tell us more about these packages back in September.
Well, U.S. officials had gotten some information in mid-September that indicated someone who was linked to al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, or AQAP, had shipped several packages to the U.S. So naturally, the officials intercepted them. They opened the packages, found no explosives, and then allowed them to continue on to Chicago. And they were going to two people there who had absolutely no connection to AQAP. That's al-Qaeda's arm in Yemen. So at the time, from a law enforcement perspective, that episode was just filed away as a strange occurrence.
So they filed it away, but now they're taking another look since these latest packages actually did contain bombs.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of news organizations have been reporting that U.S. intelligence is thinking that those September packages were a dry run for the two packages sent last week. But now officials are telling us that they're wondering if these HB printers that were in these packages last week, with nearly a pound of powerful explosives in them, were also a dry run, like a second step, so terrorists could see if they could get explosives through cargo plane security. You know, it's really interesting because last Friday we were hearing that there were no explosives in the packages all day long. And it wasn't until President Obama finally confirmed that there were explosive materials in those packages that we found out. And when I was talking to my sources, I was asking them if the packages without explosives could be some sort of test. And they kept on saying, well, what kind of test would it be? If it doesn't have explosives in the box, what would they be testing? They said a real dry run would have to have included explosives.
So I just want to be clear about something. Are you saying that the officials believe this latest episode was a test, and what would the terrorists have learned from such a test?
Well, what I'm saying is they believe that this might have been a test. And if this was a test too, then the lessons would have been really scary. Well, what I'm saying is they believe that this might have been a test. And if this was a test too, then the lessons would have been really scary. I mean, the reason we were hearing that there were no explosives in the package found in the UK is because British officials actually missed it the first time around. The US told them specific tracking numbers for the package, and they scanned it, and they had a bomb-sniffing dog sniff it, and they said, no explosives. And the US said, no, really, you should go take another look. And it was only then, when they opened up the printer and looked at the toner cartridge inside, that they realized that they actually had explosives. So now AQAP and other terrorists have learned that because of this, that scanning machines used in the UK didn't detect the explosive, and that sniffer dogs are unreliable, and that potentially you could get packages through undetected. That's what they've learned from this.
Well, let's see now. We have on our team, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
That's what I want to find out, the guy's name.
And then,
That's what I want to find out, the guy's name.
I'm telling you, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
Now, Abby, you going to be the manager of the baseball team?
Yes.
You know the guy's name?
Well, I should.
Well, now you tell me the guy's names on the baseball
I
team.
say, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
You ain't saying nothing to me yet. Go ahead and tell me.
I'm telling him.
You ain't said nothing yet. Go ahead and tell me.
Who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
You know the guy's names on the baseball team?
Yes.
Well, go ahead. Who's on first?
Yes.
I mean the guy's name.
Who?
The guy playing first.
Who?
The guy playing first base.
Who?
The guy on first base.
Who is on first?
What are you asking me for? I don't know.
Now, wait a minute,
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's his name.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
Who?
The guy on first.
That's it. That's his name.
Well, you ain't said nothing. I ain't asked you nothing.
You did.
You know the guy's name on first base?
Sure.
Well, tell me the guy's name on first base.
Who?
That's NPR's Dina Temple-Raston. Dina, thank you very much.